Hello students, today in this video we are going to discuss about the participants, means how did participants saw the movement. Now here we are going to learn about why did different groups in India participated in the civil disobedience movement, what were their ideals and what did the Swaraj mean to them. The first group was rich peasants in countryside. Rich peasants like Patidas of Gujarat and Jats in Uttar Pradesh were the active participants of the civil disobedience movement. As the producer of cash crop, they were hard hit by the trade depression and falling prices. And as their income reduced, means cash income disappeared, it was impossible for them to pay the revenue demand by the government. And on another side, government was not ready to reduce the revenue demand, and because of that it caused widespread resentment, means disappointment. That's why these rich peasants became the active participant of the civil disobedience movement. They organized their own community, even they forced reluctant members to participate in the boycott movements. For them, Swaraj means to fight, means the struggle for the Swaraj means to fight against the high revenue. But what happened? They got deeply disappointed when Mahatma Gandhi withdrew the civil disobedience movement in 1931 without the rate of revenue being revised. And because of that, when it was restarted by the Gandhiji, many of them refused to join. So that was the first group, rich peasants. Now we will learn about the poor peasants. Poor peasants, they were not restricted, means they were not happy with the lowering the revenue rate, because these people were mostly landless people and they were cultivating the land which they had taken, means on rent from the landlords. And because of that, along with the lowering the revenue, they wanted that whatever may be rent, means unpaid rent to the landlord, should be remitted. But as we know that they were not getting any support from anywhere, and that's why they joined different kinds of radical movements which were mainly led by the communist or socialist. And along with that, this Congress was reluctant to include their demand because they were apprehensive that if we will support no rent movement, it will maybe that rich peasants and landlord will be disappointed. And because of that, Congress was not ready to support the no rent movement in many places. And because of this reason only, the relation between the poor peasants and Congress was uncertain. Means Congress thought that it may cause disappointment of the rich peasants and maybe this anti-colonial force will be divided. So this was the second group. Now what about the third group? Third group was the business group. How did they relate to the movement? As we know, during the First World War, our business groups, means our businessmen and traders, they had achieved very huge profit and they became powerful. And they wanted to expand their business, and because of that, they wanted that they should be protected from the import of the foreign goods, as well as they wanted to maintain the foreign rupee sterling ratio that would reduce, means that would decrease the import rate. And in such condition, to organize their business, they set up Indian Industrial and Commercial Congress in 1920 and the Federation of the Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industries in 1927. With the help of this organization, led by the prominent industrialists like Purushottam Das Thakurdas and G.D. Birla, they attacked on the colonial control on Indian economy, as well as they participated actively in the civil disobedience movement. They supported civil disobedience movement, even they gave financial assistance to the civil disobedience movement, and because of that, most of them, they saw that Swaraj means there would be the time when there will be no restrictions on the trade, and their trade and industry would flourish without any constraints. In this way, business groups were also the very good supporter of the civil disobedience movement. But what happened? After the failure of Round Table Conference, this group also became apprehensive of spreading of the militant activity, and they were worried about the increasing influence of the socialism among the younger leaders of the Congress, as well as they were worried about that this mass agitation will cause great damage to their business, means our business will be ruined, and because of that, when first movement started, they were supported, but when it was relaunched, they tried to refuse to join. So in this way, for them, Swaraj meant the situation where business can flourish without any constant. Now, what about the fourth class? Fourth class was the industrial working classes, means industrial workers. And industrial workers did not participate in large number in the civil disobedience movement. The reason was, as business groups and industrialists came closer to the Congress, workers automatically left out, means they kept aside. Still, in such condition, some people, they participated by adopting some of the ideas from the Gandhian program, like boycott of the foreign goods, for as a part of their own movement, which was against the lower wages and poor working conditions. For example, I can tell you, there were strikes of the railway workers in 1930 and dock workers in 1932. Along with that, in 1930, in the Chota Nagpur, means mine, tin mine, it was the tin mine. In Chota Nagpur tin mine, thousands of workers, they wore Gandhi cap and participated in the protest rallies as well as boycott campaign. But here also, Congress was not ready, means Congress was reluctant to include the workers' demand as the part of their program of struggle. And because of that, these workers were also not happy to join the civil disobedience movement. And now, the last important feature of the civil disobedience movement was the large-scale participation of the women. From the civil disobedience movement, means from the Salt March only, thousands of women came out of their home to listen to Gandhi. They participated in the protest marches, even they manufactured salt, even they picketed liquor shops and foreign goods shops, and many went to jail as well. Moved by Gandhiji's call, they began to feel that service to nation is the noble duty of women, and because of that, they started actively participating in the civil disobedience movement. But this increased role of public life doesn't mean that any radical change in the way to visualize the role of women, means this increased public means their role did not change the position or status of the women in the Indian society, because Gandhiji was convinced that it is better for women to take care of home and hearth, to be good mothers and good wives. And because of that, Congress was for a long time was not ready to allow any woman to hold any post of authority within the organization. And this Congress was only keen on their symbolic presence. So in this way, how big peasants, means rich peasants, poor peasant, business class, working class and women participated in the civil disobedience movement, we saw. Now on this all five groups, common question will be there. For example, why did rich peasants join the civil disobedience movement? And another question will be, why did rich peasants did not participate in the civil disobedience movement when it was relaunched? In the same manner, for all five groups, why did they join and why did they refuse to join when it was relaunched? This common question will be there. I hope answer is clear to you. Thank you.